What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf Al-Sanad, and welcome to the third and final chapter in a series revolving around Abdellatif Kachiche's 2013 coming-of-age drama Life of Adele Chapter 1 et 2, also known internationally as Blue is the Warmest Color. For those of you who don't know, Life of Adele Chapter 1 et 2 in English translation means The Life of Adele Chapters 1 and 2, and is based off the novel of the same name by Julie Moreau, which of course is Blue is the Warmest Color. I don't want you guys and gals to confuse these two stories and their titles as different entities, because they are one basic entity. That is a love story of Adele or Clementine based on Julie Moreau's novel, the character herself, Clementine. And this is the third chapter in the series. This third chapter will focus mostly on the political agenda, or the politics, the secret politics of Blue is the Warmest Color, because in secret we may not know that this film is actually a political film in disguise as a love story. And Abdellatif Kachiche, he's been known for making movies like Games of Love and Chance or A Game of Love and Chance, and another movie he has made long ago known as The Secret of the Grain. These two films have characters who are of Arabian and African descent, and the characters in these movies are so well realized and so well defined by Mr. Kachiche or Monsieur Kachiche, who himself is of Tunisian descent. And Abdellatif Kachiche has been my hero for the longest time, because yours truly, like Monsieur Kachiche, is of Arabian origin, which brings great warmth and happiness to my heart, knowing that there are Arabian filmmakers out there who wish to tell our stories, even though his stories don't have any religious or political undertone. One thing that Abdellatif Kachiche does so well, he tells political stories in disguise as love stories or other sort of dramas like A Game of Love and Chance, which basically is a coming-of-age story of these young children, mostly focused from the point of view of a young boy known as Cremo, who has a secret crush on this girl who is the head actress of this play, and she is doing such a great job in the art of theater and performance, and Cremo, having no experience whatsoever, wants to be closer to her. So to do so, he becomes part of this play, but that is a very different story on its own. Life of Adele Chapter 1 et 2 is a love story which some of you guys may not know is actually a political film along with being a love story. And the third chapter of Adele's life, the Untold Chapter of Adele's life, is actually a political journey for her to discover more of her political side and trying to fight for the rights of Arabian or Muslim people, those who are being oppressed because of their faith or their ethnicity, like yours truly, because yours truly is not only from an Arab family, but I also come from a Muslim family, a Muslim Arabian family who have seen their own days of oppression, and we have seen a lot of hate towards Muslim and Arabian people because of the fact that we have a different belief, a belief which to some is very alien, and we can't change people's minds unless those who are open-minded and educated about our culture, our way of life, because we don't judge other cultures for the way they are, and those who do judge other cultures despite not ever being there are complete dumbasses. No one should judge another culture based on their beliefs, race, orientation, or whatever. We are all equal as people. That is a basic belief and principle Adèle Exarchopoulos' character, Adele or Clementine, from Julie Moreau's novel understands so well. Julie Moreau's novel has nothing to do with race or any belief. It's mostly a lesbian story about lesbians and about their oppression and how they are going through so much, and how Emma is very offended by the fact that Clementine is not being honest with herself, and the fact that she is a lesbian and she does not want others to know about it. Emma and Adele's love story is very powerful and very unique and very real, though the political side of Life of Adele Chapter 1 et 2 is one I found to be most intriguing, because Adele's life is separated into 3 stories, one of which we don't see, but we can interpret in our own unique way, that being the 3rd chapter, the 1st chapter of which is Adele's awakening, her sexual and self-awakening, where she learns more about herself and her sexuality, while also trying to achieve her own dreams and goal, that is to be a teacher, to educate others about themselves, their potential, and to become better human beings, because she loves working with children, most definitely those who have special issues or special needs. She loves them so much because they have so much to learn about the outside world and about themselves, which is the most important part of living. And through the first 2 chapters of Adele's life, we see her marching along with her peers from school, singing the song which is known as Allah Sharia, which also means we will never give up in English translation. Allah Sharia is a very beautiful song by Kadur Haddadi, I think that's his name, of the Algerian-born singer who is responsible behind the song Allah Sharia. I love this song and what it means and what it stands for students who demand better funding for their education and the education of the next generation of students who will come after them. And the 2nd chapter of Adele's story obviously focuses on her and her relationship with Emma, and the fact that she's becoming more attuned or accepting herself more as a lesbian woman, as she loves Emma, and she's marching along with the other people in this gay pride parade, which is dedicated to those people of the LGBT community, which yours truly is a part of, being that I am bisexual, even though I don't associate myself with any community, no matter their race, religious beliefs, or orientation. It means nothing to me. That being said, they are marching to fight for their rights as part of the LGBT community, and for their LGBT brothers and sisters, as they are marching in the gay pride parade. The song by Leek Lee, who is a Swedish singer and one of my all-time favorites, her song which is I Follow Rivers, I love this song so much, and it always reminds me of my dear beloved friend, who is my closest family, my only real family next to my mother, who I will die for. She is my friend, my family, my twin, my sister, my soul, and most importantly, she's my hero who I will forever live for, side by side. And this song is so beautiful, it's so powerful, and it basically sums up their relationship, how Adele is willing to follow Emma no matter where their path may lead them to. She's willing to follow her to the ends of the earth, because that is how much she loves Emma and how much she is willing to die for her, just like I am willing to die for my beloved friend and my mother. They are my family, just as Emma is the family, the only real family of Adele. Which brings me back to the 3rd chapter of Adele's story, that being the political side of her journey and the undergoing issue of race and cultural appropriation or representation in the media, because the media has this closed-minded view of the world, whether you are of Hispanic, Asian, or Arabian descent, or African descent for that matter. You are going to be stereotyped based on their perception of the world, whether you are Arabian, and the fact that they associate us with terrorists and whatever their perception is of Hispanics, Asian, African. I speak mostly as someone who is Arabian, and by that you guys and gals can understand why I'm so angry and why I take this very personally, because the fact that we are stereotyped consistently as terrorists or as people who are savages and we are oppressing other people, it's so disgusting and so close-minded and very ignorant. Abdellatif Kachiche has been known for making movies that represent Arabians and Muslims in a positive light, even though he never once brings up religion in his movies. Characters do mention things like God or Allah or even the Quran in passing. Not once though is that the main focus of the story. It's mostly on the characters and their journey and whatever conflict that may arise. That is why I love Abdellatif Kachiche so much, and why the 3rd chapter of Adele's life would be most interesting, because Adele is very devoid of the idea of cultural or racial appropriation or representation, as opposed to Emma, who as an artist, she is someone who prides herself as an artiste and someone who's all about representation representation in terms of her stance as a lesbian and someone who wants to express her lesbianism, if you want to call it that. This particular topic, the topic of representation, is very devoid to Adele, and Emma, who is quite knowledgeable on this topic, inspires Adele to discover herself more and to understand the idea of representation, because her classmates are full of students who are of Arabian and African descent, so it never occurred to her the idea of race, religious beliefs, or the fact that her peers are very diverse in where they come from, which is why she wants to fight for their rights, their freedom, and their freedom of speech, because everyone is equal and is deserving of equal rights and opportunities. There is one character in the movie whose name is Samir. I did not mention him in my review because the review itself was long enough, which is why I want to bring him up right now. That character, Samir. I love this character so much because Adele's story is not one that only affected me in a very positive way, but it's the character of Samir who also affected me in a very positive way. I guess because of the fact that he is Arabian and the fact that the Americans love how cool it is for Arabians to yell out Allahu Akbar and that kind of shit, because Allahu Akbar, guys, is not made for those idiot terrorists. It's actually made to praise God, our God, and where we stand as people devoted to God. It's very annoying, to be honest, to see how we are constantly stereotyped and seen as villains the way other cultures and minorities are, but us specifically, and Samir, like yours truly, is fed up with it. He is so fed up and tired by how constantly he is stereotyped as these figures, these terrorist figures, and he's just had it. So at the very end of Life of Adele Chapter 1, we see Samir, who admits that he's becoming very conscious of the way he's being cast as terrorist and the fact that it stopped becoming fun. It's very understandable because you can only go so far with making a joke out of someone being Arab or Arabian and constantly stereotyping her or him as a terrorist, because guys, it stops becoming fun and becomes more and more offensive. So enough is enough. He is so fed up with it and wants to move on and try to find better things in life, better things that actually makes him happy for once. And for the movie to end with Samir, the last final shot of Samir as he's running after Adele, who is very sad and disheartened and walks off not knowing where her destination will lead her to. Samir running after her, but he never catches up to her because her journey and Samir's journey are very unknown. We don't know where they will go from here, but Adele's story is far from over. The third chapter of Adele's story will be focused on her fighting for Arabian and Muslim rights, and the fact that this oppression they face, like other minorities, has to stop and must never be seen again, because stereotyping other cultures and racism and xenophobia in general is very offensive, it's disgusting, and has no place in this world. A world that should be filled with human beings, good, honest human beings, who would not sink any lower to become a racist, a murderer, a rapist, or whatever sort of shitty thing like that. But that's my basic take on the third chapter of Adele's life, thus concluding my trilogy on Abdellatif Kachiche's 2013 coming-of-age drama / love story, Life of Adele Chapter 1. Thank you guys and gals for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's funny how most of the video I kept saying, and the fact that it's just a habit of mine because I can't control my habits, but hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. If you want to see more from me, then do please check out my gaming channel where I do let's play series, gaming content, all that kind of good stuff, and do check out the first 2 chapters in this trilogy of Life of Adele Chapters 1 by Abdellatif Kachiche, which once again is based off the novel of the same name by Madame Julie Moreau. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.